Have you ever been punched in the face? Yeah, me neither, but I'd imagine that I'd react poorly. I'd like to think I'm this big tough dude, but I'm not so sure I wouldn't just run and hide in a corner once someone's knuckles imprinted themselves on my cheekbones. I'm also convinced that I would suck at getting punched in the face physically because I actually kind of suck at getting punched in the face figuratively. Now, stay with me here. You may not know this or care that much, but you are part of a pretty big church. We have locations all over the Valley of Phoenix. We actually took 5,000 7th to 12th grade students to camp last year, and it was awesome. You should invite your friends to it at Night Zero. And if I'm honest, sometimes I can just show up at church and just assume that we're all doing a good enough job at getting people to show up. I kind of get complacent. Man, so many people are here that already know Jesus. Look at all these people here every single weekend. We must have reached this whole entire town for Jesus by now. You ever feel that way? Last year, my family and I moved to a different neighborhood right before Halloween. We didn't move there because of Halloween. It was just sweet timing. See what I did there? I remember walking outside with our family, all dressed up as the Spider-Mans, and expecting to go on a nice casual walk through our peaceful and quiet neighborhood. But I walked outside to Bourbon Street. It was a madhouse. The roads were blocked off, shoulder to shoulder, standing room only throughout our whole neighborhood. They had DJs bumping house music with flashing lights. We were getting tossed bacon and ribs and beverages while my kids were getting showered in king-size candy bars. And then I got punched in the face. Not literally, but figuratively. All these people live in my neighborhood, and I've never seen any of them at church before. I was staggered. I had to slow down and take a second. In that moment, it dawned on me how stupid it was that I've been congratulating myself on the size of our church. None of these people have ever been to our church, and I've just been assuming that my church was doing all the hard work, that everyone would just show up to one of our campuses because of how big or known we were. But man, was I missing it. I needed to look up. I've been placed intentionally in this new community. Why was I waiting for the church to do the thing that I could do? There are so many people around me that still needed me to be Jesus to them.
Just like Jake said, we need to be aware of the people in our lives who don't know Jesus. We need to look up. Well, there's an awesome story in the Bible where Jesus does exactly this with a man named Zacchaeus. In Luke chapter 19, Jesus is walking through Jericho and is surrounded by a large crowd of people. Zacchaeus was a wee little man, see what I did there? And he actually climbed up a tree to get a better view of Jesus. And when Jesus walked under the tree, he looked up. Jesus looked up and said, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." So Zacchaeus came down at once and welcomed him gladly. Jesus went to the exact spot Zacchaeus was. He didn't wait for him to climb down the tree. He didn't wait until the perfect moment or until he felt he had all the correct words to say. He didn't even wait for Zacchaeus to say hi to him first. Jesus extended the invitation first. You know someone who I think lives this out really well? Someone who isn't afraid to talk to anybody about anything, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning? Someone who works at Dutch Bros. Now hang with me, because I know you know what I'm talking about. Going through the Dutch Bros line, the person who takes your order is always so nice, and they are more than happy to climb right into your car, right? Well, I've also noticed that there are two different types of people who interact with the employees there. There's one who just can't get enough of the small talk conversations and is just way too excited to answer every single personal question about their day. While the other type of person just stares straight ahead, gripping their steering wheel. They can't wait for the conversation to be over and are just counting down the seconds until they get their hands on their extra sweet, extra blended, extra large Rebel and get to speed the heck out of there. But you know, I don't blame that second person. Did you know that the number one fear in the world is public speaking? Death is like number 4 on that list. Students, that means that people would literally rather die, pass away, than have to talk in front of somebody. Because it can feel scary and uncomfortable to talk to someone we don't know. I think that everyone can agree it can even feel awkward sometimes to talk to someone we do know. But you see, the goal of the person working at Dutch Bros is to make every person in line feel seen and known, which is one of Jesus's goals as well. That's why it's so important that we step out of our comfort zone when we invite people to church. We can't expect them to just come up to us. We have to go to the places where people don't know Jesus and tell them about him. Now, it can be easy to keep to ourselves and expect people to just walk right up to us, to not text our friends first because we're afraid of being ghosted or denied. We wonder, what if my voice cracks? What if I say a dumb word? What if there's something in my teeth? What if they no longer like me or think I'm cool? Well, Jesus shows us that none of these things matter. What matters is our heart for people and making them feel welcomed and seen. So students, how can we have that same energy when interacting with people? To see someone sitting alone at a lunch table and not be afraid to join them. While walking in class, how many times do you pass the same group of people and just keep looking forward, afraid to make eye contact? Can you be like Jesus and meet people where they're at?
So, how are you doing with the challenge from last week? Did you have a friend that you wanted to invite to night zero? Have you invited them yet? Did they say no? Did they say yes? Did you keep inviting them? The challenge will be the same every single week. We're not gonna get cute on you. We're gonna keep it very simple. We want you to put these messages into practice and invite all of your friends to church. And guess what? There is no better time to invite a friend to church than one of the most hyped nights of the year. Yeah, we call that night zero. Here would be my hope for you this week as you continually invite that one friend to night zero. You would actually go into that person's life and make every single effort to tell them about Jesus. You aren't just waiting for your friend to ask you about church, sitting back, relaxing, but you're actually actively going to them and being Jesus to them. Maybe you need to actually go out of your way to serve that person that you're inviting to night zero. Go buy them dinner, go hang out with them, take them to Chick-fil-A, buy them nuggets. I don't know what it is, but maybe if you serve them and took them out to dinner, maybe they'll listen. Maybe you need to actually show an effort and actually ask them how they're doing. Your friend has seemed kind of down lately, kind of sad, and well, you need to invite them over and ask them intentional questions how their life is going. Maybe you need to be more available and help a friend out. You have a friend, that friend that you want to invite, you know they're bad at math. And guess what? You're really good at math. And you also have extra time. So what if you took that extra time and helped them with math? When you actually go and enter into others' lives and you serve them like Jesus, you have a greater opportunity to invite them to church. You aren't just standing and expecting them to come to you, but again, you are going to them like Jesus did with Zacchaeus. It's hard to invite people in if we aren't around them. Keep it up. Don't quit. Your invitation into this church could change someone's life forever. Keep being a Christ-centered difference maker and invite people in like Jesus invites us in.